What's happening, guys? This is James Blonde. This time we're taking a first look at Arcane Saga, a game previously known as Prius Online. The game is now published by Netmarble, which is actually the same as the developer of the game, and it's currently in open beta for a brief time frame, and players can get in and experience the game and level up really quickly according to the game's website. So I'll spend a short time showing off the game, making some comments along the way, and I briefly played Prius Online back when it was in beta, but not quite enough to remember the game. But according to the developers, the game has made some pretty significant changes on the systems and the way the systems work and what you can actually do with your Anima, which we'll talk about as we go along. So what I'm doing right now is actually finishing up some of the first couple of quests, just learning the basics, just moving around and whatnot. And I'm playing as a short-ranged gunner, but it's more like a high DPS sort of gunner, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Which is good, because our next quest is going to have us kill these wolf-looking things. That'll give us a chance to kind of take a look at the skills. You start out with quite a bit of skills. I'm not really sure if that's something that you did in Prius Online. I don't recall you starting out with that many skills. But I'm going to go ahead and initiate with my basic attack, move around a little bit. My first skill here is a guided aim shot, but it looks like it kind of takes a little while to initiate. My second one is more of a rapid fire shot, and this one does a sweeping attack, which didn't really look like it did a sweeping attack, but it does 110% damage and decreases movement speed by 10%. Let's see here. That one does 120, and there's my guided aim shot. Let's see what else you have. Precise shot, 110. There's a lot kind of added to that. Why do I have two of these? The moaning going on in the background is epic. So the game has 4 different races, and my race is the Hume is what I actually chose, and I suppose this is the starting area for the Hume. Because out of the races you can choose a couple of different options as far as classes goes, and I'll talk about that a little bit more, but I don't see any other races or classes around, really. So first off, I gotta say that the controls are really weird. Like, I don't know that they're bad, they're just definitely not what I'm used to in terms of, I guess, what I've been playing recently, like Terra or Neverwinter. Whereas you can pretty much use WASD to move around. Why can't I pick this up? I do not have the right to earn these items. Well, why not? That's ridiculous. Nah, just kidding. I don't know why. But yeah, you can use your WASD to move around. But in this game, it kind of rotates you. And I'm not necessarily a fan of that style of movement. But that's okay. It just seems a little bit rigid. You kind of have to jerk around the screen. So they're just a little bit different than what I prefer. But, alright, so killed 2 of those. Killed 2 of those guys. Or actually, I killed 3 because I couldn't pick up the items on the other one. I guess what it was is that one was targeted by somebody else or something like that, and I killed it, so I didn't have... Nobody will get the goods on that one, so... Excellent voice acting, by the way. It's kind of funny. Alright, let's move on here. Leveling up pretty quick. Already level 3. Let's see what we got to do next. We got to talk to Jason, right here. Researcher Jason. And he's going to tell us to scout the platform and another survivor. Let's go ahead and complete these. Accept the achievement system. Okay, so that's what's been popping up on my screen saying, yeah, that's what this is here. Movement. I got achievements for movements and things like that. I guess it's helpful for the tutorial, and then you feel a sense of achievement if you complete these tasks, which is something that you're gonna have to do to play the game in the first place. But whatever. I don't think you actually get anything other than saying that you achieved that. Alright, let's go ahead and move on. Hit B on your keyboard. Okay, that's inventory. So it's not I, it's B. And check here. I is absolutely nothing. So it seems like you'll actually have to get a little bit used to the hotkeys. I'm assuming the other one, B on the keyboard, will open your inventory. Alright, so I got a Pero, which is, I guess it's a mount. Yep, Pero registered using Summon Pero. Item is equipped by dragging it to short. Use the H key, and I got a chest of growth. Alright, so we got some items here. They're all kind of together. And we'll check that out in a second, actually. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Peros, which is the mount system. So that's pretty cool. Now I've got actually 2 of them. So I've got a cat, big cat with a wushu beard, Fu Manchu. But this looks like it's something that's special because I only have it for a day. And I've got a kind of a wolf type animal. The cat actually is faster than the wolf and has more health. So I guess the health is something to do later on. Maybe you do sort of mounted combat. I don't know. I wonder why else a mount would have health. So that's pretty cool. And there we are. Long-haired, kind of Fu Manchu cat. Actually pretty neat looking. Got some crazy claws. Alright, so let's check out the wolf. Let's see what else we got here. Which is actually a lower level mount. This is probably one that you have permanently, and this is probably one that you will start out the game with. Granted, the game is in open beta right now, so there's a lot of kind of events and stuff going on, and that could be one of them. So let's check it out here. What else we gotta do? Alright. So let's equip our new items. Let's see how that actually makes a difference. I'm gonna go over here and kind of readjust the camera. Let's see. So I got a full set of items in the chest. I guess that's what I'll be using for a little while now. Okay, this is a level 5 items, so just got those at level 5. So I'm assuming they'll probably get more items at level 10 and 15 and so on. But it is changing the cosmetics. It is the same exact gear, but changing the color. It looks pretty cool. And hopefully it changes my stats quite a bit. For now, I'm not really worried about it. Alright, so what do we got to do here? It looks like I got some skills to add. Yep, actually got 5 skill points to add here. So we're going to do that. Actually, the hotkey for skill is X. And looks like we got some actives and passives. And it looks a little confusing at first here. The combo system. So the game has that. Okay, that's why there was several extra down there. So for the combo system. So looks like I can probably add... Let's mimic this here, so it just put it in the combo, 'cause since I don't have any other skills really. I'm gonna use that here, but okay, I guess I have to move it from here. Nice. And now I have, oh cool, and I got an achievement. Register skills in a combo slot. So you can make your own combos. That's pretty cool. So that's a little bit like Terra in terms of what you can do there. And that, I want to say that's probably something they added to the game after making it Arcane Saga versus Prius Online. So I'm going to add my skill points here to this one, since I tend to be using that one quite a bit. Well, I've used it each time so far, so I'm going to use that one. The get more coin thing on the left there is getting really annoying, by the way. I don't know if I can turn that off or not, but I'm not really worried about it. Looks like my destination is a little ways away. I'm not really sure where it is. Okay, check my mini-map. It's actually back this way. So it's not quite as far as I thought. Maybe up on top here. Yep. All right. Jump over. Nope. Jump over. There we are. Okay. Talk to this guy.
I have many things to
Gotta love that voice acting. Should have been more like, "Come on, I'm not afraid of you." Yeah, that sounds a little bit more like what he'd sound like, especially with that epic beard. So the player detail, the character detail, seems a lot more detailed in terms of visuals. Than the actual game's graphics. So you got a lot of detailed players in a not so detailed environment. But it is what it is, and our next quest is to destroy Red Wild Chicken. Alright, we're gonna make some chicken sandwiches out of these guys. Sounds good actually right now. I'm kinda hungry. Alright, Red Chicken. See if I can get him from here. Yeah, start him. Long shot on his way over here because he's gonna target me anyway. Use my combo system that I kind of looked at in the skills. And crit. Nice. So I guess if I pull off the combo, it has a higher chance of crit, and then it also speeds up my cooldown on my skills, which is nice. That's convenient. I like the combo system in the action style combat, but I guess this has its benefits as well. And I missed. So the game's actually pretty easy so far. I'm level 6 already, and I still haven't had encountered any sort of mobs that have I've had to worry about aggroing. But you can mouse over the enemies and actually see that some of them are hostile or not hostile before you have to worry about aggroing them. But I guess one nice feature is that even though the game is not an action combat, you can still kind of lure and shoot while you're moving like this. So you can kind of lure them out. Oh, I guess that guy killed my own. I don't know. But yeah, you can actually lure them out. I guess if they're a little bit higher level and you can't take on more than one or something like that once they start aggroing you. Or, oh, cool. Now I'm getting the combos out. But yeah, you can kind of walk back and fire at the same time in case you need to separate some of these guys from the group, or if you're going to like pull one big boss or something towards your party, or need to position an enemy, you can actually kind of move back and fire, and that seems to be pretty helpful. So that is something that is nice. Alright, so it doesn't look like a whole lot is going to be changing in the quest anytime soon. What I'll do is I'll cut this part out of the game, out of the video, and we'll take a look at the character customization screen right here, and I'll show you exactly how I made my character. And then we'll get back into the game and show you a little bit more of what's going on later on. So when you start out the game, you create your character here and start out with a warrior. This is one of the first classes here. You can actually choose between the tank or regular melee DPS as a regular warrior, and each one has its own sort of armor here. This one's actually really cool looking with the kind of a, I don't know, like horns and teeth and all kinds of stuff on his hands there to like impale people with. But that's actually pretty cool. Next we have the Destroyer with the option of wielding a single-handed or two swords. It's almost another take on the Warrior with different weapon options, but it's kind of a chick with like weird abs. It's kind of gross here. So just like the Warrior, you can choose between the tank or the melee DPS, but this one's going to use that big sword, which actually looks really cool. But so does the two swords here. The next one is the Templar, and oh, okay, so this is actually the female version of the race that we just saw a second ago, and you can choose the more defensive melee DPS here versus the more offensive melee DPS on the right. So just like here, it seems like each one you look at, the more defensive is going to be on the left versus the right, and so it depends on what class you're looking for. It all is gender specific. Here's the Gunslinger. I think I'm going to go with this one, more of a short range DPS versus a long range DPS. But it's all gender specific, it's all race specific, so it's kind of really what you want to play. You may be stuck with what you get, but that's alright. There seems to be quite a bit of options here, so you might find what you want. And the game really doesn't show off any sort of stats behind any of the classes here, so it's really kind of hard to tell one apart if you're looking like between the Warrior and the Blade and that sort of thing. So I'm going to go with the Gunslinger. I'm going to go with the short range DPS, and just because this one seems pretty unique, and I don't know, our outfit looks pretty cool. Alright, so let's see what we have as far as hairstyle goes. I definitely like that. And the options on this one's pretty cool. The character's detail is really nice, like that. Big hair. I think I'm going to go with hair type 3 it was? No, 4. Right there. Okay, cool. I like that. And hair color, blonde. That's too weird. Let's go with a lighter, like a platinum blonde. And yeah, right there. Looks cool. That looks nice. Change the face. Doesn't look like we have a whole lot of options in terms of customization. That's cool. Kind of a stern look, like she's pissed. And you can change the skin color to all kinds of stuff, but we don't really have any options in terms of body size, anything like that. We can't make her fat. There's no boob slider. Ah, bummer. That's okay. So for those who like a lot of customization, may or may not be too happy about this. So. Alright, so we can go ahead and name our character and get into game. Or not, we actually select our Anima here, so this is pretty cool. So the Anima is the sole companion that helps you out in the game. It's kind of like a fairy, and in Prius they didn't really do a whole lot, but that's something that they're planning on changing in Arcane Saga if they haven't already. They're actually going to do a little bit more for you. We've got quite a bit of choices on hair, they're all huge, so there we go. I'm going to find something that's smaller that looks good, and I like that color, that's nice. More of that red, but looks like we have pretty much the same options as we did creating our character, and I'm gonna go kind of crazy on the skin color here. That yellow is really nice. Let's see, purple, and yeah, yellow, that looks good. So we'll go ahead and get into game now. Alright guys, we're back, and I'm currently level 11. I just picked up a quest to smell a flower, and I did so, and it took me here, like I'm tripping or something, I don't know. And I'm following the soul butterfly. That's what it said to do. So I'm doing that, and I think I actually remember this from when I played Prius. This is actually when, yep, it's exactly. This is when you meet your Anima. Now, from what I read, the developers have made some changes to the Anima and what it actually does now. Previously, it kind of just followed you around and really didn't do anything, even though the game made a big deal about them. Kind of like you see here in the like its own cutscene, and there's like a lot. I think there's a lot more cutscenes if I remember correctly. But now your Anima is supposed to help you with things like fighting with you. They can actually like mimic your skills, but they're also supposed to participate more and like do things like you can purify enemies and gain experience from that. I guess you can make that as a profession. I'm not exactly sure on the extent of that, but you can actually, some of the enemies you purify, you can actually tame them into paros, and that's actually really cool. So, yeah, with the new developers, there's a lot more to be added to the game, and there's a lot more stuff that's added now. There's just not really any sort of clear definition on what those new things are. I know there's something changed about the skill system, and now that you can allocate your skills differently, or you don't have to, I guess, hold on to certain skills when you're a later level in order to get some of the higher level skills. Now it's a little bit better balanced in terms of that is what I got out from some of the messages that I heard about the game transitioning over from the previous publisher, which is, I believe was G Potato, and now is, like I said, Netmarble. But anyway, guys, I think that's more than enough for this video. Hopefully this gave you a brief idea of what the game's like if you haven't seen it before. Or if you have, and maybe you recognize some things that have changed. The game really isn't my cup of tea, but I know a lot of people are excited for its return, and I'm not really sure why it was shut down to begin with. I think it was like publisher problems, obviously. But the game is currently in open beta, available to everyone. Oh, and Netmarble always hooks us up with some cool giveaways, and I'm pretty sure we'll actually have one up at the giveaway section. If it's not there now, it will be soon. I'll definitely add the link in the description below. But for more information about the game, check out the updated profile at MMOHut.com. Thanks for watching, and until next time, guys, that's going to be it for me. I'm James Blonde. See you out there, gamers.